right, you ready? You ready? You ready? You ready? All right, guys. I hope this will help you think about confidence and and living life a little bit differently. The class is called Confidence Through Consistency. If you struggle with consistency, I promise you struggle with confidence. I'm going to tell you the reasons why I think that. Take a breath with me for a moment, right? Breathe. Not a get it together breath, but a breath that says that you're here. Be here. Be here with me right now because you need to be. Because before we talk about confidence, before we talk about change, we're going to talk about what confidence actually is and what it isn't. Confidence is not loud. Confidence is not arrogant. It's not walking into a room knowing everyone will like you. Because let's be real, right? Confidence is quiet, or at least more quiet than that. Confidence is what happens when your nervous system trusts you. Confidence is what happens when your nervous system trusts you. And trust is built one moment at a time, right? Confidence is what's built when your nervous system trusts you. Not trust your friend, not trust your spouse, not trust your mom, your dad, your brother, your aunt, your uncle, not anybody. Confidence is when you trust yourself. Your nervous system trusts yourself. The lie that we're taught about confidence. Somewhere along the way, many of us were taught a lie. We were taught that confidence comes after success, after you lose weight, after you look better, after you do that, after you graduate, after you prove your self worth, after transformation, after healing, after you got your life together. We were taught, I'll feel confident once I lose the weight. I feel that one. I'll feel confident once I stop struggling, once I'm done struggling. I'll feel confident once I become someone better. If I could just be better. If I could just be better, I could be confident then. That's not how confidence actually works. Confidence does not come after change. Confidence is what creates change. Take that in. Confidence does not come after change. Confidence creates change. And it doesn't do it through grand gestures, it does it through consistency. Why confidence is a trust issue? It is not a personality trait. Oh my gosh, my whole family, no one's ever confident. No one ever feels that way. No one's confident. Confidence is not something you're born with, and it is not something you're born without. It's not something extroverts get and sensitive people, well, you miss out on it. You're just not confident. Confidence is self trust. Self trust is built the same way trust with anyone is built. Take that in, right? Sit with that. Sit with that. Self trust is built the same way trust with anyone else is built. It's through follow through. It's through follow through. It's through reliability. It's through keeping your word. The problem is, many of us have broken promises to ourselves for years, over and over and over. Because why keep a promise to yourself when it's going to get better after? After. We break promises to ourselves not because we're lazy, not because we don't care, but because we're taught to demand too much from ourselves and then shame ourselves when we couldn't deliver. So over time, the quiet belief forms that I just don't trust myself. And when you don't trust yourself, your nervous system stays on guard. That is why many of us nervous systems stay on guard, because you don't trust yourself that you can protect yourself now. You don't trust yourself to be able to keep yourself safe. You don't trust yourself to be able to take care of the little you. When you don't trust yourself, your nervous system stays on guard. Your nervous system steps in because you don't trust yourself. Your confidence erodes and the inner voice becomes harsh. The inner voice becomes harsh. So when we say make small promises to yourself, do something small for yourself. It could be drinking water. Like, for goodness sake, I'm trying to drink so much water. It could be drinking one extra glass of water a day. And if you don't drink water, it could be waking up and drinking it in the morning. Just do it. Just do it. Set yourself up for success. Put 10 water bottles in your room by your bed. That way, when you wake up in the morning, there's no excuse for you not to do it. Set yourself up for success, because the cost of broken self promises, that's what we're going to talk about. What is the cost of broken self promises? How many times have you said, I'll just start Monday? Can I do this tomorrow? This time I'll stick to it. I just need to push harder. I'll try again a different day. And then life happened. Life happens. It does happen. Your energy drops. It happens. Your body says no. Happens. Your emotions need attention. Happens. And while life happens, and it does, you still made a promise to yourself to drink that cup of water in the morning. So you broke a promise. Your nervous system stays on guard because you can't trust yourself. And instead of just adjusting the promise, right? Okay, maybe I can't do one glass, but let me drink this here now, and I'm going to try back again tomorrow. So instead of adjusting the promise, you judge yourself for breaking it. So you judge yourself for breaking it. I knew I couldn't do it. Why do I always do that? I have ADD. I forgot. Whatever it may be, right? And then you judge yourself for breaking the promise. The cycle is exhausting. It's exhausting. And over time, it teaches your nervous system something dangerous, that you just cannot rely on yourself. That belief doesn't show up as words either. It shows up as hesitation. It shows up as self-doubt. It shows up as procrastination, overthinking, being burnt out, giving up before you ever begin. Not because you're incapable, but because your system is tired of being pushed and pushed. That's why it's important to keep promises that you make to yourself. And if you can't keep them at 100%, then you change it. After all, it's your promise. That way, your nervous system can rely on yourself. Confidence begins with one small promise. So, what if we do this differently? What if confidence did not start with a big goal like everybody does, but with one small promise? Not dramatic vow, not a life overhaul, not a version of you that doesn't even exist yet. And you're not even ready to act like that person yet. Just one gentle promise you can realistically keep, because every promise you keep sends a message to your nervous system: I am safe with myself and I will take care of myself. And safety with yourself is the foundation of confidence. Right? When you're confident in something, think about it. When you're confident in something, it's something you know, right? You know. What is something you guys know a lot about? Dreams, right? Jen is confident in dreams because it's something she knows a lot about. She trusts herself to fulfill whatever she's looking to do. Rebel is confident in playing pool because she trusts herself. She trusts that she knows how to play. See? Is this making some sense here? Right? I trust myself when talking to people about telling them things that they need to hear, that the universe tells me, because I'm confident that I follow through with what the universe tells me, whether I like it or not. When you're confident, your nervous system goes away, right? And lets you take care of it. So when Rebel's playing pool, there's no doubt in my mind why she does better when she's playing pool and she's more calm when she's playing pool. It's because her nervous system trusts herself. Finally, for God's sake, her nervous system trusts herself. Just like with Jen, when Jen talks about dreams, it's something she loves to do. She's confident in it. Her nervous system steps away. You got this, Jen. My bad. Okay. When I'm talking to someone and giving them space to share their story, it's like, oh, Kitty, okay, you do have this. I guess I don't have to act a fool. That is what I'm trying to get you guys to see. Confidence really is about self-trust. Think about the times you have confidence, right? Think about the times you don't. When are you insecure? There's not self-trust there. Safety is the foundation of confidence. Why consistency heals the nervous system? Your nervous system does not speak in logic, it speaks in patterns. What are you confident in, Miss Elaine? You're confident in your um you're confident in your is it the shamanic healing? You're confident in that. You know what you're doing, you know what's up. Your nervous system does not come in question because you're confident in it. Healing, right? You're confident in it. Your nervous system goes away, like the part that tells you you can't, because because you trust yourself, because you've built consistency within trusting yourself. It's really an interesting thing, I think. Why consistency heals the nervous system? Because your nervous system does not speak in logic, it speaks in patterns. It watches what you do more than you say, just like other people watch what you do more than you say. It's about having a relationship. So when you show up consistently, return without punishment, choose realistic commitments, your system starts to soften. Anybody that's in a turn up mode, have the hard nervous system, it's in fight, fight, fight. It's because you don't trust yourself right now. It learns, I won't abandon myself. I don't need to be perfect to be safe. I can trust my pace. That's when confidence begins to grow, and it grows quietly, gently, and under the surface. Again, the things that you guys are confident in were not things that you always knew, all the things you know about right now. You build it piece by piece, just like building a relationship, because you're building a relationship with yourself. Being stalled or being in winter is not failure, it's preparation. There is a reason this work often begins in the winter seasons of life. It feels like everything around you is dead. It's cold. I don't like anything. There's nothing happening. I'm not growing. In nature, winter isn't a pause, it's preparation. It's preparation. Roots deepen, systems strengthen, and energy is conserved. If you're not moving, think about this. We live in a culture that treats rest like laziness and stillness as failure. So when things slow down internally, we panic. We think, I should be further along. I'm falling behind. Something's wrong with me. But what if nothing is wrong with you? What if this season is building something you can't see yet? Confidence through consistency honors winter energy. It says you don't need to bloom right now, but you do need to stay with yourself. You need to keep building the relationship with yourself. The power of returning. Here's something that's important. Consistency doesn't mean perfection. So, for everybody who thinks you have to be perfect, that is not what consistent is. Consistency does not mean perfection. Consistency means returning, even when it sucks, even when you're mad, even when you're upset, even when you want to cry. It means returning. Returning after you miss a day, returning after you forget, returning without shame. The most confident people are not the ones who never fall off. They're not. They're the ones who don't make falling off mean anything about their worth. They return again and again and again. So now we're going to choose the right size of a promise. Promise that builds confidence must meet 3 criteria. It must be realistic. Not aspirational, not impressive, just realistic. You need willpower. If you need willpower to keep it going, it's too big. Right? If you are going to stress yourself out over it's too big, start with something small. Number 2, it must be kind. No punishment, no self-threats, no I should. Only this feels supportive. What would feel supportive for you? And number 3, it's repeatable. Something you can do even on your low energy days so you stop making excuses for getting up and doing and moving. Something you can do on low energy days. Because confidence is built on your worst days. It's not built on your best days. Confidence is built on your worst days. It is not built on your worst days. It's not. Because if you do it on your worst day, it's going to be so easy to do it on a good day. Examples of confidence building promises. Here's a few that I wrote down. The 1 glass of water. That's what I'm trying to do. Well, I'm trying to drink more than 1 glass, but drink 1 glass of water as soon as you wake up. Step outside for 1 minute a day. Put my hands on my heart and breathe. I will speak to myself without insults today. That might be a hard one for most. I will rest when my body asks. I will write 1 honest sentence in my journal. I would highly recommend I will write 1 honest sentence a day. You don't have to show anybody. Write 1 honest sentence a day. Because the things you will write are not always the things you will speak. None of these require motivation. They just require presence. They just require you being there. You being there. You don't, the effort you have to put in to drink a glass of water is to lift the cup, right? Step outside for 1 minute. Just be present. I'll put my hands on my heart and breathe. Be present. I'll speak to myself without insults. Be present. And if you can't speak without insults, I'm going to be aware of how I talk to myself today. Maybe that's where you need to start. Why motivation can be overrated. Motivation comes and goes. Confidence does not rely on motivation. Everybody thinks that it does. Confidence doesn't rely on it. You don't need motivation to do something you already know you're good at. We need motivation for the parts that we haven't got to yet. We need empowerment to get there. Confidence, it doesn't need it. It relies on identity. Every small promise, Kat, tells your brain, this is who I am now. This is who I am now. Welcome to the new me. Not someday, this is who I am now. And identity shifts behavior faster than discipline ever could. Yes, confidence is in the doing. Then your inner dialogue begins to change. Something powerful happens when you keep small promises. And the thing is when you keep small promises to someone else, it grows your relationship, right? It strengthens your relationship. The other person knows that they can trust you. They depend on you. They know that you've got them. It's the same kind of relationship with yourself. Your inner voice changes. Instead of, I'll never follow through, I always mess things up. Why do I even try? It becomes, I can trust myself. I do what I say I'm going to do. I don't abandon me. That voice is confident. It's not loud, it's not flashy, and it's steady. Confidence is built in private. Sometimes you have to go and hide and come back with confidence. Confidence is built in private. Most of this work happens where no one ever sees it. No one ever knows what's going on. No applause, no validation, no external proof. Because that's how it works. Because confidence built privately can't be taken from you publicly. Confidence built privately can't be taken from you publicly. Nobody could tell you that you can't do it. No one can tell you that you're doing it wrong. It was built privately. Nobody can take that from you. It doesn't collapse under pressure. It's rooted. It's grounded in who you are. It becomes your identity. Okay, what do we do when we miss a day? You will miss a day, and it doesn't mean you need to stop. Missing a day does not break consistency. What breaks consistency is punishment. So when you miss a day, your only job is return gently. No explanations, no self-lectures, no restarting the clock, just a return. That act alone builds more confidence than forcing yourself ever could. This is how self-trust is rebuilt. Self-trust isn't built through intensity. It's rebuilt through safety. Through showing your systems, I won't hurt you to get results. It's unfortunate we have to train our nervous system that we won't hurt our own selves, right? But we do. It's rebuilt through safety, showing your nervous system, I won't hurt you to get results. That's when confidence becomes sustainable. Like I said, think about the things that you're confident in. So think about this. What is one small promise you can realistically keep this week without pushing yourself? Think about it. Think about it. You don't have to be accountable to me. You don't have to be accountable to anybody in here but yourself. Remember, confidence is built on your worst day. Are you having a bad day today? Are you having a bad week? What can you do to show up? Even if it just takes space, on my worst day, I can do it. That is the building block of the relationship with yourself, on being confident in who you're becoming. Confidence through consistency is not about doing more. It's about doing less with more devotion. One promise kept daily, returned to gently. That's how it grows. That's how confidence forms. And that's how you build a life that feels safe to live inside of it. It's how you build a life that feels safe, by being confident yourself. And I would venture to say that if you do not have the relationship with yourself that you want, you probably have outside relationships that struggle. Confidence is something that is very, very internal. Very internal. And very much different for everybody. All right, here's some self-reflective questions for you. When I hear the word confidence, what image or feeling comes up for you guys? When you hear the word confidence, what is something that pops in your mind? What is something that pops up? When you hear confidence, is it a person? Is it something you do? Is it you feeling a certain way? You looking a certain way? Then, no throwing tomatoes. Then I want you to ask yourself, where did I learn what confidence was supposed to look like? Who taught you what confidence was supposed to look like? What do you think of, right? When you think of confidence? And then where did I learn what it was supposed to look like? Who benefits from me believing that I'm not confident yet? Who around you benefits from that? You don't have to answer, but who around you benefits from your lack of confidence? Do I trust myself more with others than I do with my own needs? Do I trust myself more with others than I do with myself for my own needs? Then there's this one. Where in my life have I consistently shown up, but I've never acknowledged it? Because we are so good at, yet you don't acknowledge that you're consistent with it. Where are those places? How has perfectionism disguised itself as motivation in my life? And I will tell you, when you have that fear doing anything new, if you want things to be perfect, if you, or if you were raised around that, or you have people around you that struggle with that, it's something as simple as jumping on here for the first time is terrifying, right? It's just what it is. You have to find out, how does perfectionism, how does it play in your life in motivation? What happens in my body when I think I need to do things perfectly? Do you have a systematic response? Do you get stressed? I get stressed. What promises to myself have felt unsafe or overwhelming? What would change if consistency meant returning instead of never failing? What would change for you if consistency just meant returning instead of never failing? When I miss a day or fall short, how do I speak to myself? Is my inner voice protecting me or punishing me or supporting you? What promise can I keep to myself even on my hardest day? All right, I'm going to end on these last couple questions, and then this little closing reflection here. How would my life feel if I truly trusted myself? What would your life feel like if you trusted yourself? You knew that you were going to make sure you were okay. You take care of your stuff, even on your hardest day. You're going to show up. What would your life feel like? What version of confidence am I ready to redefine for myself? What version of confidence are you ready to redefine for yourself? What does it mean to stay with myself even when it's uncomfortable? Guys, there are things going through this learning process, growing process, whatever you want to call it for yourself, that make you extremely uncomfortable. Uncomfortable is where the growth is. That's where the growth is. Remember, you need empowerment for things that you're unsure of. You don't need empowerment whenever you're confident. You are the empowerment for those things that you're confident in. Confidence doesn't grow when we push harder, it grows when we stay longer. Stop hiding. Confidence doesn't grow when we push harder, it grows when we stay longer, when we return, and when we choose ourselves quietly again and again. Confidence does not grow when we push harder. Confidence grows when we stay longer, when we return, and when we choose ourselves quietly again and again. I hope class helped you today. You guys going through stuff, some of my behind the scenes has been understanding that difference in the confidence, right? What is it? Where do we feel that we fail ourselves, right? Because if you're worried about failing the people around you, what about you? What about you? Don't worry about everybody else right now. If you're not even keeping promises to yourself, don't extend yourself out to other people. Yeah, I think so. I've been in my cave, whatever you want to call it, thinking about all these things, right? Confidence, consistency. It's so interrelated, right? And sometimes when you think about confidence, you think about like people on TV, or you think about those things, and you're like, confidence is showing up. Because when you show up, you learn, you grow, you know you've got that. You're not worried about anybody taking anything from you because you know without a shadow of a doubt, you're really amazing at this. What other things are you really amazing at that you should be confident in? Maybe it's being forever a student. I'm confident in that. There is there is sadness within the realization, but I think the important part of it is feeling those feelings and letting them go. Right? I earlier I was talking with someone up at work, and I was talking about I went through this process in my healing process through after my brother passed away, right? And I got into this situation to where I was healing, right? And I became so angry at everybody that was around me that was involved in that situation. And anger is fine, right? But we all know that anger is the surface emotion. So I became very angry, and then I held a lot of resentment, and that came out in my behavior even though I was healing, right? And even though I thought I was getting better. And I was getting better because you're going through the process, right? We've never been the person we're trying to be. But I was talking about how hard sometimes we get whenever we go through the healing process or when we're amidst it, right? We get really hard because we close everything off because we think that we're healing, and we close everything off. So there's no, I'm not letting anything toxic in. I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing anything. And where I'm at now is so different than where I was, when that happened 10 years ago. I think that there is a sadness within some of the realization, but there's a softness that comes with it too, right? It's very humbling to look internal at yourself. It's just humbling to look at yourself. Guys, always look internal. Look internal. There's so many answers that are internal. I'm not saying that there's not things other people need to be taken care of, but a lot of the things have to do with us, right? And our consistency in showing up, right? It just is. Like consistency is huge. Maybe show up consistently, gently for an hour a day for a week. What does that look like? It's kind of hard for some of us, right? So don't let the sadness, don't let the grief, don't let the change, don't let not knowing what the hell's happening harden you so much that you miss the vision of what is there, that you miss the opportunities that are there, right? Don't let it harden you so much that you're not going to see what's dropped right in front of you, because that happens. It happens. And all, and when it's all said and done, it separates everyone. And I'm speaking from my family perspective of what happened. Hardness separates. Now, being too gentle doesn't do a lot of great things either. Right? Being too gentle doesn't really work either. You really just have to find your lines and you have to find yourself. But when you're a castle and no one can penetrate it, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. It feels like it'll work. It doesn't work. Ask me how I know. All right, guys, I love you, love you, love you. I hope you enjoyed class and hopefully everything came through clearly on this. I'm going to jump off of here and do a really amazing interview, and I will touch base with you guys on what I'm doing with this, like if I can download it and all that good stuff. So, love you guys. Small promises.